Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Tales of the Lockbox, the Property.ca podcast. My name is Josh Benoliel. I'm VP of Sales here, one of the branch partners, agent here, broker here. And today we got our man Chris Hynes in the house. Chris.
How's everybody doing? Thanks for having me on today. That's fantastic.
Pleasure. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself. I think you grew up in Guelph.
That's
and,
right.
I got a little insight.
Yeah, that's
give
Guelph.
Us the rundown.
That's Guelph, right? So I grew up in Guelph.
Okay.
I am the Tri-Cities guy. That's the new thing here. I am new. I came from Remax. I've lived in Guelph for basically all 30 years here too. I went to the University of Guelph. I've just that's been like those are my stomping grounds, right? Like those are my areas. So if anybody has like leads, stuff going out there or questions out that way, I'm telling you, I'm your guy. Please ask me questions. I am more than open to take them and more than happy to go in long, in-depth conversations about the markets out there and whatnot. So please ask me stuff.
Beautiful. How long have you been in real estate for?
I've actually only been in real estate for almost 3 years now. So it's actually, So I had a career switch.
You got in around the time the pandemic started.
That's exactly right.
Okay, before COVID.
Right as COVID started is right when I got my license.
So that's an interesting time to start in real estate as a global pandemic happens. It was everyone went inside and you were with Remax. At least, some of our agents had online leads. It was a different kind of perspective. How did that transition go? Like, how did that work? You get into real estate, and now you can't go into the office for trainings. You can't go out and meet people on the street. No one's answering your door knocking. How did you get going? Like, how did it start?
So I started on a team, which was good to learn stuff, but that wasn't for me. And like I've heard you say before, no, I didn't work as well on a smaller team with bosses. I thought I could do it better myself. So when I got into real estate and during that COVID boom when the interest rates dropped, and a lot of people just saw that as, hell yeah, let's get to the market. So my first experience in real estate was watching these listings sell in 2 days. My first listing, which I had right away because I had that set up before becoming a realtor, was sold in 1 day.
Wow!
It was
lucky.
It wasn't $1 million. It wasn't $1 million, but it was $999,999.
Okay.
So it was almost that, but I was very, very fortunate. But the team was taking a little bit too much for me. So I said, you know what? These are my leads. I can do it anyways. So that was kind of neat seeing my first experience in the first year in was very, very quick sales. It was like very, very quick sales. Like I really felt like I didn't put the amount of hours in for the return that I was getting, and which is big time switch now, right? So honestly, I prefer it now. I feel like a realtor, like where you actually work, do the grassroots stuff with using the new technology that we have. And yeah, it's been fantastic. I wouldn't change anything right now.
Amazing. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about Chris and what you've been doing, but it's exciting to have you here. For those of you who don't know Chris is one of our agents here and he manages, like you said, in the Guelph area. He's also in the process of starting to lead our Guelph Waterloo office.
Yeah, more so Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge
Kitchener,
now. It's Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge. Waterloo is where the leads are. And if there's any of you out there from our brokerage that if anyone's open, if anyone's open to being in that area, they're fantastic leads. I can't take them all myself, and no, I think we could do some magic out there. So please, if you're listening, contact me.
So if you're tired of living in a condo downtown Toronto and you want a full-size house for the same price you're paying for your condo, sell your condo, call Chris. He'll get you a nice house out in Waterloo, and he'll feed you leads and you'll build a big business.
Two bath condo selling here for the same price. I'm telling you, you're going to get a detached home with a backyard. So if you've got remote work, especially, do it. Do it.
Love it. Okay, Chris, we're going to get into the fun stuff now. So, I read a little bit about what you gave me some info on, and we like to start off these meetings and these podcasts with understanding, your mindset clearly and your motivation. You're clearly successful. You've been in real estate for a very short period of time, accomplished a lot of success really quickly out of the gate running. Tell me, what's your motivation every week? What's your mindset? How you keeping yourself, what are you doing for your mental health?
True.
Give us a rundown here. Tell the people watching what's happening.
So you touched on it there too. Mental health is one of the most important aspects. If your mental health is not in check, then like you've said before, if you're in your head, you're dead. And that goes, so you really need to take care of that stuff. But truthfully, what motivates me is people. People motivate me, actually, making people happy. And quite frankly, I wasn't down to be, I don't know if I was smart enough to be a doctor or something like that. And I love shooting the shit, essentially. I love talking to people and getting along with people. And when I was looking for a career change, because I wasn't happy in marketing, I didn't have enough people interaction at the time. I thought, what can I utilize like of my personalities and the best aspects of me outside of the university that I did and stuff, and how can I leverage that to make money? And came up with real estate. And no, it's been fantastic that way. So making people happy is a huge motivator. Money is absolutely a motivator, but the motivation for the money for me didn't last. And as soon as I started focusing on providing exceptional service and really taking care of the clients and who I'm with and doing that extra step, the money actually followed suit. Like too, right?
Secondary.
Yes, that's right. So as soon as, and I definitely got in that mind, there was a thought when I was getting into real estate that, hell yeah, I can see the prices of homes going up. I can see that some realtors make a ton, and that's obviously attractive. But those are the wishy-washy stuff. And as soon as I focused on the other things and just being good at what I thought I meant, treating people properly, providing exceptional service, being punctual. Punctual is a absolute huge one in my mind because we're always essentially on call. And right now, people like to do things quickly. So our leads right now, if they call us and we don't answer right away, I guarantee they're going to call somebody else next. They're going to do it right away. So be punctual, be on call. Those are super important things. Like I said though, people is the main motivator for me, and then all the other things just fell in place.
And there's a German phrase you like.
Fruit and fruit.
Fruit and fruit.
Yeah,
Tell us
it's
about
kinda,
fruit and fruit.
Fruit and fruit is a new thing. Now it's totally made up term. It's not a real term, but it's derived from the German word for joy, and it essentially means being happy for someone else's success.
Okay.
And I see a lot in real estate that. There can be some jealousy. You can get bit by the jealousy bug sometimes.
Everyone wants a seat at the top.
And the competition, which is good. Competition is a good driver. But at the same time, I'm telling you, your mental health will be better. It goes back to that. Your mental health will be better when you're not pessimistic about other people, when you're fired up for your colleagues doing deals. It just, seriously, it makes you a more whole person and if your morals and your values and your compass are in check like that, you'll be good at your job. And when you're good at your job, you're going to make lots of money.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love that. Be good at your job, make lots of money. Money comes second.
Yeah.
Be punctual, be honest, work hard. It all falls in suit. I agree
Absolutely.
with you. All right, we're going to get into a little bit now. So have you met Miriam before?
I don't think I've met Miriam.
This is her photo. Miriam's on the call with us.
Hi, Miriam.
So Miriam is one of our in-house mortgage brokers, our main one here. She works in the office on Thursdays. She really does a great job helping our agents get deals done. She brings them to the surface. So Miriam, let's talk. Give us the mortgage minute. Tell us what's happening out there on the streets. What's the best deal right now? Who's giving the best rate? What kind of term should we be fixed? Should we be variable? Should we be locking in for 2 years, 5 years? What's going on? Tell us about the mortgage world today.
Okay, so I guess all in all, we're looking at a lot of pretty much steady increases over the last couple of weeks, but there are some really good offers. Some where a lot of the banks are now tagging on some cashback offers for those people who need money to close on deals, where they'll give them 1%, 2% cash back with their mortgage. So that helps them with the closing costs and whatnot.
So you can use that for land transfer tax?
Yeah, for anything. So it's a little bit of cash in your pocket on the closing of the mortgage. And a couple of the banks have offered them in the past and are bringing them back again, knowing that people are a little bit short or need a little help. And the net effect of that money that you're borrowing is actually better than borrowing it on a line of credit because it is cheaper when they're giving it to you, a lot cheaper. And it gets thrown into your mortgage and it's not, an extra debt on your bureau. So that's a really good option right now. I think a few people are looking into that. I have people requesting variable mortgages again, which is interesting for me because I think they are looking at the long term of being stuck in a 5-year, even a 3-year being questionable. So, I mean, it's interesting when I get on calls like this because I love to hear also what people are looking or how they're seeing the future. And it looks a little more positive when you hear people say they want to go back into variables again. I think just locking into such a high rate and then maybe having the opportunity to take advantage of a rate drop in the future is great. I mean, also employment numbers came out a little bit higher, which was good. So I think that's going to affect what's going on. So as they go up, maybe the bond market's going to go, and then hopefully we'll see a little better rates come out on the fixed end too. I think we should hear soon on that. Outside of that, I don't know if anybody else has any questions or anything that I can answer.
I have a question for you, Miriam. This is
Sure.
something that I heard. This is something that I heard recently about fixed and variable rate mortgages. If you take them beside each other on any 5-year scale, I heard that variable rates will outperform fixed rates more often than not on a 5-year term.
Definitely over the long term, because the rates were so low for so long. That's what you're reflecting on, right? We had like 10, 15 years where the rates were pretty low, and that's where we were seeing a net advantage for so long. So obviously they're seeing that right now. It's all about what's going to happen over the next 5 years when you do take a variable mortgage. And I think people are saying, if they are going to go down, as they're saying in 2024, then even having like a slight increase, even if it happens, it's not, the net effect will be better. 2023, 2024, 2025, I'll see my mortgage decrease, so why lock yourself in? So definitely.
Yeah, cool.
Amazing, cool.
Yeah, and I think what you were talking about, I think we had a couple of wins in the group this week too, and I kind of just want to make a shout out to a few people. I'm not going to call out names, but they went in, had their clients in leases, looking for leases, called them out, and they called me up and are definitely ready to buy and definitely ready.
Good.
So, leases, purchases, pre-approvals, whatever it is, just get your clients on a 15-minute call with me, and it'll be in everybody's benefit. They were ready to go. And even like another client called this week, just, asking about a rate. I'm looking to get a mortgage of about $400K. And one of the realtors just said to him, you're really tight with your budget. Can you increase it? Client was easily approved at a $600,000 mortgage. So those are the net benefits of having someone on the call. Just, sure, you want to check a rate, call her. At that time, I say to them, you can afford a lot more. This is what it looks like. And it just opens up a whole opportunity that you could have lost,
That's a good point. Make sure you're working in tandem with your mortgage person and your client too, right?
That's what I was just about to say. Like, that's the importance of what we do here at Property.ca. It's not just having a supporting team to keep you accountable and coaching and provide you leads. We take that whole system and bring it in together, where our mortgage broker, Miriam, she's working hand in hand with our agents, and she's helping us move the deals past the finish line, where, you can get a rental lead and you're like, this is just a $1,500 commission, but it's not. If you look at it properly and work with the person and understand what their needs are and understand their finances, take the time, like you said, be patient with the person, understand and walk them through the process. The money will follow, because next thing you know, you're not renting them a condo making $1,500. You just sold them a condo and you're making $15,000, right? And you're doing good by everybody.
Just helping them understand those numbers. And I think a lot of the time these clients don't. And, when they hear from someone else, it's a new voice, and that's where I find it very successful in every conversation.
Oh, it's one of the things I left. I was prior with Remax here for Property.ca, is what Josh was just talking about, is that it's everything. It's everything. Like, we got, there's the leads that come in from the proprietary tech that we have. That's something that not a lot of other places have, and when they do have it, ours is better. It is. Like, I've seen 4 or 5 other ones, and of course, when I was leaving Remax, I shopped around a couple different places, and it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer Property.ca for me, when the opportunity presented itself, and no, it's been
Well, we liked you.
Oh, I hope so.
It's a two-way street
Well,
over here.
sorry. Yeah, that's right. It had to be mutual. But no, like I said,
You're absolutely right.
Wouldn't change it for the world right now. Real estate is what you want to make it too, and I swear to God, like Property.ca has the best support and the entirety behind it. So
amazing. Well, thank you, Miriam. You can stay tuned for this kind of section. We got an economic update from Sanjeev. And what we looked at here is that we'll get into a couple of these interesting ones here. The consumer spending patterns in mainly low and middle class show that there has been a shift to staples and away from discretionary goods. This is evident when looking at specific data. For example, wait time for rides at Disney theme parks in Florida has been reduced from 42 minutes to 21 minutes. That's our index, guys, just so everyone can hear me loud and clear.
Were you going this year? Were you going?
Consumer spending patterns is measured in terms of wait lines at Disneyland. Well, it's going to cost you less now. And I was talking, it's so funny we were talking about Disneyland. I was actually just talking with one of our agents who took her family away last week, how expensive it was. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. You paid for that extra fast pass, but you didn't have to because the wait times are down by half. So that's an interesting fact there.
The fast pass. That was key. You had to have that at busy season.
You got to have the fast pass. We'll get into the interest rate ones at last. The job market remains resilient even with the banks in the U.S. and Canada tightening monetary policy through increasing interest rates. These are signs COVID money is starting to become depleted. The impact of these will be seen in the coming 12 months. Interesting. We got another one here. The CPI data for Canada came out today, and the CPI rose 3.3% year over year. In June, the rise was 2.8% year over year. The increase relates to mainly higher gasoline prices. The mortgage interest cost index has a record year over year again. And then Miriam, we'll tap you into this last one here. Higher interest rates and continued rate increases continue to be likely by the Fed in the U.S. and also in Canada. Home prices seem to be supported by strong immigration and a lack of supply, which we all know that there is. Although there was a decline in prices earlier in the year, multiple offers are prevalent in many areas of the GTA, especially in high-end prices.
In Waterloo too.
So what do we think about that? Like, you know, Miriam, like, you know, that's where the feds are pointing. We're still going up here. I know you're talking about variable, and people have this hindsight of hopefully, or foresight of hopefully rates are going to come down. But professionals are saying the pain's not over yet. We're still not at the hardest part of all this.
I think we just want, what's sad is, like, what we're looking for is unemployment to go up. So, and that's when the rates will start going down, which is sad, but that's the reality of what they're waiting for. Mm-hmm. And as long as those rates are stable, it's not like, you know what I mean? It still means people have money to spend. So as soon as we see job markets indexes change, that's when we'll see certain things change too, like even in the rates. I'd say no matter what, pre-approval hold rates, 4 months. That's what I do with everyone, regardless of whether you're going to buy or not. Pre-approval hold rates, put them in. I have clients that we did tons in May and June, even in June and July and August rates went up already. So I push them. I know you don't want to buy. You may want to lease. Sure, let's just do it. You know what I mean? And that way they have that hold. They're in the benefit 2 months down the line, and it's all perspective, right? Mm-hmm. So if they got like a 5.14, which a lot of the clients got in the group, then now the rates are at 5.89. Then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? They're in a great position. Okay, I want to buy.
That's true. There's perspective like that too.
Benefit. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all perspective. So. And
I'm seeing all the big billionaires and everybody, all the stuff that I watch and study. They're all saying buy now, buy right now. Like the competition is down. You think that we go back down to 4%. What do you think's going to happen? That house that you're looking at for $2 million, it's not going to be $2 million anymore. It's going to go back up to 2.5. You're going to be multiple offers. You're not going to be able to put conditions on that home. So you really got to understand the opportunity cost now that you might be paying more on the mortgage up front. Now, you can always refinance. You can always go back to someone like Miriam and say, hey, rates are down. This is where I'm going to go. Get on a variable mortgage, like Miriam said. Play that game a little bit. But your acquisition cost could be substantially lower now versus when there's right now there might only be 5 people running in the race. What happens when you're running against 50?
Well,
the race just got that much harder.
Oh, I totally agree. And then the other thing to go with that on Miriam's perspective too, I have this general, but being fairly young in real estate too, I think that especially people I'm 32, from my generation, need to lower their expectations on what they can get now in comparison to what our parents did. There's still a lot of this comparison over here's what my parents buy, and it doesn't work like that anymore with our population growth.
You mean you can't buy a house for $40,000 in Toronto? No,
it's shocking, right? So it's right. So these guys, and this is exactly what's happening for the Torontonians that want to get out to Waterloo and just get a little bit more bang for their buck. Is that what would you get for a 2-bed 2-bath right around here in a condo?
Could be anywhere between 800 to 900K.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's 3-bed. That's 3-bed, 3-bath, detached with a backyard.
Could even have a pool, maybe, no?
Some of them could. It's like I said, it's a different world of living if you have that, and that's what people are finding. That if they we're getting, life is more expensive right now, whether it be the interest, the gas, anything.
Food.
Life is just more expensive right now, so people are finding creative ways to get bigger homes. People always want nice big homes and space, so that's one of the things people are doing. We see it with Ontarians going to Calgary.
And it's one of these interesting things. I actually heard this recently, that back in the day everyone wanted these big mansions, but they had servants, they had house workers that would take care of these mansions.
Servants' quarters,
whatever you wanted to call them, whether it's a servant or a housekeeper or whatever. They would take care of your homes. They had multiple of them working for them. Now you look at a family with dual family income being able to buy a $3 million house in Toronto. Yeah. You're working really hard to make that happen. Mm-hmm. Now you have this big house. You might have a caregiver that cares for your kids, but now you have this huge house. What ends up happening on the weekends? You're now cleaning this big house, where you're spending less time with your kids. Your kids are sitting in front of the iPad. That's what their time is being spent with, just to take care of this bigger house. So a lot of people are also saying their lives were better when they were living in that 2-bedroom condo, that they could clean as a family in 15 minutes, and they didn't have to take the iPad out to babysit their kids. They were back in the game right away because it was just so easy to clean. Bing, bang, boom, and go. So we're starting to see a shift happening. What do you think about that?
No, I love that because, it just goes back to another principle that I like is you should simplify your life. I'm not saying that doesn't mean as a realtor or whatever you do that you shouldn't work hard and do the wake up every day and do your best kind of thing. But there are things that I think a lot of people do that are just inefficient. They work so hard at it that it really doesn't make their life that much better. And I think there are a ton of realtors, and myself included, that can work on efficiency. I think there are a lot of situations in real estate where we're beating a dead horse, so to speak. I think there are ones that our kind of BS detector can go off, and we can say, okay, this guy. When we all know situations when you feel like a client has another realtor behind the scenes, right? And it is probably good of our due diligence to do that research on your client. If it's somebody you've never met before, and you suspect that they do, because you'll never know if they do have a family member too. And quite frankly, you're not going to beat family in real estate. If somebody is glued to their family member as a realtor, that's who they trust. That's who even if that person's terrible, that's who they go to, right? So there are a lot of situations like that where you can do a lot of showings, and I've done it too. I've done 20 showings for somebody. I didn't have a buyer contract, and they buy with someone else. And it's the worst feeling ever, right? But you know what? Instead of being upset with the other side and saying that's BS, whatever, you got to look inside yourself and say, okay, what could have I done differently to maybe not allow that to happen? And all those hours that I put in, maybe they could have been spent with a better client, or getting a new one, or something like that, right? Like efficiency.
I have that conversation with agents all the time. It's like, I spoke to this lead, and now they're logging onto our site all the time. They're not answering me. What do I do? I said, listen, you throw a Hail Mary pass. You send an email. Are you still looking to buy? But then you move on to the next person, because every hour you're spending chasing that dead horse is an hour you're missing
on a good horse. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I like the unicorn.
I love it. So let me ask you a quick question. You said something there. When you're dealing with somebody and you think they're you're trying to understand that you met a lead online, what type of research are you doing about a person? Give us a quick little summary.
Anything. Honestly, Googling people can be a really good resource right now. A lot of people have LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
And how far would you
still.
go? Like, are you searching their social security number? Are you analyzing seeing if they're in the criminal database?
I'm making a
Like, how far are you
I'm
going
totally
there?
making a phishing website and then trying to get there. No, just doing the basic stuff. Doing a couple different social medias, especially too, like on your LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You can kind of do a mini meta analysis like of them and really gather like, okay, like that person's like who they say they are. You can gather a lot about somebody by their social media actually, and you can gather a lot about me. Now it is a trick. It is partly a game too. I'm not exactly that as good looking as I think I am on social media, but it's super important, all that stuff. So, it is important to go out of your way to make sure you know who the other realtor is too. When you're doing deals, make sure you know who the other realtor is. I think it's a huge benefit. If you know what makes that person tick, you have a huge advantage when it comes to offer time.
Amazing. All right, so we're going to get into some more questions here about Chris, and that's some really good data. You're spitting knowledge. How many people we got with us live, Lucas?
23.
We got any questions going on there?
No, Serena just said she saw the TikTok that you were mentioning about cleaning the condo.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It was a good one. It actually spoke to me a lot because like I was literally like watching it and I was sitting there like with my kids and my son and I was like, he was watching TV and I was cleaning the house. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yep.
So Chris, let's before we get into why you became a realtor, I want to ask you. You're very well spoken. You seem very educated. You're very personable and sociable. Where did your sales journey start? You didn't just get into real estate 3 years ago. You must have had some younger upbringing of sales at some level. Where did this whole thing start from?
Well, with as social people go, I think we all know that teachers are very social people. Both my parents are teachers.
Okay.
Yeah, both my parents are teachers. So I guess
High school, elementary school?
high school and elementary. My dad was a high school phys ed teacher, so he was like the beauty of the thing. And then he became an elementary school principal. My mom actually was essentially with the same school the whole time. Teachers are very social people, in fact, and teachers hang out with a lot of teachers, and when they party, teachers can go wild too. And there was my first bit of sociability. My dad was a coach. Playing tons of sports, and then naturally being an extrovert. Again, those are those intrinsic personality things that I don't think you can teach a lot of people. Being an extrovert is one of the biggest assets to me being a successful realtor, and yeah, you gotta leverage that. Like too.
So was there a key thing that made you decide I want to become a real estate agent? Like you could have become an insurance agent, a mortgage broker. You could have gone down, and sold stocks. You could have done it. What made you say real estate is the one?
It was the most interaction with people that I could get while being the happiest and still maintaining the most freedom and doing the things that I want to do in my life. Actually, that's like plain and simple. I have a ton of fun doing what I do. I feel like I get business doing the things that I like to do naturally for fun. I coach sports teams. I show up at galas. I do whatever. And I love meeting people in person. And meeting people in person is a weapon in real estate. And honestly, I have a fun time doing it.
It's amazing. And it shows. That's literally coming into our next section of what you like about
Sorry, I keep doing that.
No, you're in it already. So you already got that. What do you like about being a real estate agent? We got that one. What has been your key to success in real estate so far? It sounds like it's been meeting people. It sounds like it's been
for me it has, and everyone's and I've seen that everyone's real estate journey can be very different. Some people, I'm actually not. If there's something that I can absolutely improve on, is my social media. I'm going to try to get that going more for myself. Now that's something that I think I can improve on, but there's a bunch of different paths to success within real estate. Like the clientele that you want to go after. Do you want leases? Do you want buyers? Do you want sellers? Like there's, it was very easy to do sales during COVID right there. Like homes would sell in 3 days, way over asking. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, like right now, I'm actually very happy working with buyers. First time home buyers are excited. Right now, and they're excited people, and they see, even though the interest rates are going up right now, they see the prices drop, and that's attractive from a visual scale to first-time home buyers, and I like working with exciting people. I like working with people who I think I'm going to have fun with, who I'm going to have an easy transaction with, and yeah, it makes my life easy and fun, and I love what I'm doing. Seriously.
I totally agree. You know, someone a long time ago said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't work with friends. You shouldn't do real estate with friends."
Don't agree.
I totally disagree with that statement. I think it's one of my favorite things to do. It's a reason for me to get together with my friends, talk to them on a regular basis.
You're telling me
I
that
get to be in the car with them on a regular basis, spend my day with them. I get to go for lunch with them easy. I get to talk to them. I get to be part of their biggest transaction
and
in
quite
their
frankly,
life.
you don't have to filter anything either. This is a real relationship
Oh, I
that
get-
you have.
exactly.
You get to be exactly yourself.
And it
They
gets
know
hard.
you.
know, there's parts. But there's another key piece to all of it too, and I didn't mean to cut you off there, is that I also, once they buy the house, I get to feel a little bit of ownership on the house.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Are you kidding me?
I know the house. I like to walk in there like, we got the house here.
I'm the guy, at their first home get together, and I'm sure there's a ton of you that have experienced that. But when they have the housewarming party of your friends, there's always the mention, "Hey, well done. There's my guy.
Yeah,
he's
they're also
he's
like,
the
what are
one."
you contributing to the housewarming party? You
Yeah,
better,
no,
you
that
better
was-
be showing up with a couple balls of
Watch me,
Class Azul.
and then watch my Instagram today, because I'm making a reel on a gift that I brought to a client yesterday. Actually, it was a really unique one actually
Okay.
too. So watch it too.
Tell
I
us
don't.
well, give us a little
Do you want-
snippet,
do you want
'cause
the link?
well, this is
It's
called
ve-
Tales of the Lockbox, so we're going to get there. But tell me, what is it?
It's
Is
if
this
I'm
the most unique gift you've ever bought
Yeah,
somebody?
without a doubt. I wouldn't have gotten it if it wasn't like 70% off too. But no, I noticed something about the client of mine was actually this guy's wife. I knew her from high school, and this is actually, again, I went on right before I became a realtor, I went on my Facebook, and I went on my Messenger, and fortunately, I had like 1,100 friends. Like, I don't know any of them anymore, but the majority of them, I actually went through and made a small message, a little personalized message, maybe something that I knew that person liked, or something like, "Hey, haven't seen you in a while, buddy, and just wanted to let you know I'm a realtor now." There wasn't any pushy, there wasn't anything like
was
that.
just a nugget.
Just letting them know that, hey, Chris is here, you know Chris, and he's a realtor now. So Marina was her name, and she contacted me a year later, and now they bought, right? Which is fantastic. But Jordy, her husband, is an awesome guy, and you notice things about what people like when you go into their home and stuff. And no, I noticed something that he was a fan of a certain brand, and now there is now a 5-foot by 3-foot lit up sign in his man cave of this brand. So yeah, if you check the Instagram, it's honestly one of the coolest things I've gotten somebody. It was just, and it's unique to them. And again, those are the things that I think are super important.
Yeah. It goes the mile. It's not
It
something
goes
they're
in
going to buy on their own.
absolutely. And then the other thing that you gotta do, and we touch on this in a lot of the training too, is those little touch points too. So I've made a big impression with these people. I love them. They love me. It's a great. Really, they've got a house. They don't need anything from me right now in real estate, but I want to make sure that when they're telling their friends, like, "Oh, you guys got this house. Who'd you use?" It's me. There's not another. They have a family member. No. Chris. He did such a good job. We're not using family. We're using Chris.
Yeah.
So.
And part of that's one of my favorite reasons. I love buying my clients barbecues
Yeah, barbecue.
because they're there.
Yep.
They're in your face.
Yep.
You're using it, and people are like, "Oh, that's a nice barbecue. Oh, my real estate agent got it for me."
And food brings people together.
But
You
one
kidding me?
time, I had one client. I bought him a Peloton. I had it delivered to his house. He did a big deal with me. Very cared about him a lot. He was really sad that he was leaving his parents' house and wouldn't have the Peloton. And I just ponied up and I ordered the guy a Peloton, and
I
it
gotta
got
step my
delivered to
game
his
up.
house.
That's
Yeah,
legendary.
that was
That's
big.
absolutely
That was
legendary.
big. I called him. I go, "You're home on this day?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, there's a car outside your house." He goes, "Yeah, there's a Peloton truck outside." I go, "Oh, yeah, it's your Peloton."
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. I
And
love
I get
that.
to check in on him. How's he doing?
And,
on
and
his
remember
stats?
too, you don't always need to we spent some money in
This
those
is big
ones
money.
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Like we spent
I've
some
got-
money.
I've done smaller things that have
the
gone a long
sign,
way too.
the sign was like the sign itself that I got was expensive. I got a good deal on it. I also gave them like more stuff. But there's another thing that when I had especially first time home buyers of like a detached home, I remember for $70, I can there's this woodworking company that I can get this little sign that says, "Hey, like your first home,"
Yeah.
and it's like this customized thing. It says their name, and I can put a little image on it and send it to them. And honestly, it's fantastic. People love it. It's personalized. And if you just think an extra 2 seconds, like, hey, like, if this person was my like family member, if this was my friend, what would I get them? Instead of just like, okay, here's some cash or a gift card, which everyone loves, which is good. But no, those little extra things where they know that you thought about them, they go a long way.
Well, you want to know another really good one that's not crazy expensive, but it goes a huge mile? Really nice sheet sets.
Ooh, I've never done that. That's a
high-end sheet set, very comfy, like Four Seasons duvet.
That's a good one.
Set. Yeah,
I've never even thought of that.
It every day.
No, that's that's true because you can buy the really good ones.
They go to
and
bed
it's not
dreaming
that.
about saying, "Thank you, Josh, for this beautiful sheet set."
Oh, that's good. Then all your clients go to bed thinking of you.
I know.
Oh, that's
we're
wild,
going
actually.
deep here.
Oh man, playing chess.
We're getting close to the end here. A couple more questions for you. We'll keep those little nuggets. Now you got some out of today. You didn't just come down here for that. 2 questions to get through here. Tell the camera quickly, hot and fast, like, you know, in a quick 30-second thing. What advice do you have for a new real estate agent out there? You've been successful. So
don't get discouraged. Just like you are going to be discouraged. Like left, right, and center. There's going to be things, especially when you first get in real estate, and I had it too. That it will be discouraging because when you get in, by the time you get paid, can be a little bit of time too. There is something to say with consistency here. If you are consistent, you will be rewarded. I promise you that. And if honestly too, for me, I don't know if this goes for everybody, but the money thing, putting money secondary and letting that be a reward for the good service, that I think in any industry that goes like huge long way.
Amazing. And to wrap it up, it's called Tales of the Lockbox. Chris, to wrap this up here, 3 years in real estate, you've been successful. Tell us tell us the real estate story that sticks out the most. What's your tale from the Lockbox?
So I'm in. There's 2. Okay, so this one's better. So I'm
PG
in.
one.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. New story. Yeah, actually,
like
no. Okay, recently too. And I'll say this was actually my friends Zach and Allie from our company handed this lead to me, and she was fantastic. And I was in Waterloo in a big $1 million home with her, and there's just some weird features of this house, like
you didn't
a
drink
lot
the
of
milk,
stuff.
did you?
We didn't drink the milk. I saw that. So,
okay.
oh my God. By the way, I'm not that guy.
Okay.
Either way, there was a severe thunderstorm. Like it didn't let up. It was like 30 full minutes of severe thunderstorm down. You can't even see outside. There's so much rain. We went into the garage just to check the garage, and for some reason the door in the garage like auto locked behind us. Oh, sorry, that's right. I was on FaceTime with them. Sorry, that's right. They weren't there. So I was doing this through FaceTime.
A virtual tour.
And
so you're locked in the garage.
So I'm locked in the garage.
Torrential downpour.
It's a
with them on FaceTime.
very big house. I only saw before I showed the garage. And no, that was the time I actually had to take my shoes off, rolled up my pants. I ran outside. I
got soaked.
I got absolutely soaked. I actually slipped like on the grass.
With FaceTime on, or
yeah, with FaceTime on. I dropped my phone on the side. Like I could hear Rashika was the client. I could hear her just saying like, "Chris, are you okay? Are you okay?" Like I'm good. But no, I was wearing a white shirt similar to this, absolutely brown. Yeah, no, everywhere, just like the mud and the works. And no, that's got to be that's got to be a good one for here. Come talk to me if you want to. There's 2 other ones I've got.
The $30,000 question is, did you get the deal done on that house?
Absolutely not. I'm sorry I didn't. Absolutely not. And you know what? That's okay. That's the other thing. That's okay. Like I said, it's again perspective. Like what we talked about before is a big thing, and that was a funny moment. I could be discouraged, but whatever. So
I love it. Well, guys, Chris Hynes. He's out in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. He's opening up our office out there. Chris, tell him how to get in touch with you.
Please, just get in touch with me. My number is 519-362-7701. But you guys know, just Google me. I'm with the company. You can go on anything. Go on whatever website you want, my Facebook, my Instagram, I don't care. Just send me a DM, send me a Telegram. I don't even know. Whatever it is. I'm a very approachable person. Just contact me.
I love it. This guy's energy is infectious. You want to talk to him, he's going to give you some information, Chris.
Thank you so much for having me. That was fantastic.
Tales of the Lockbox with Chris Hynes. Have a good
the
week,
man
everybody.
behind here.
Stay
Love 'em.
motivated. Stay hungry. Ciao.